2019, I was preparing for one of the most toughest exams in India, that is the UPSC Civil Services exam. But life had planned a different, more challenging and a tough exam for me. At the age of 29, when I was at the peak of my preparation, I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. Today I am here not just to tell you about my painful story, but to tell you about a few life lessons of breaking boundaries as a cancer survivor. Hi, I am Apoorwa Khanolkar. I am the co-founder of Infinite Minds and the president of Pink Warriors Foundation. I was a dedicated UPSC aspirant, having given 6 years for the preparation. In June 2019, I had my final UPSC attempt. While in March 2019, that is just 3 months prior to the exam, I was diagnosed with cancer. It came as a huge shock, not just to me, but my entire family. The doctor told me that I had to immediately get operated within the next 10 days, and he asked me to get admitted within next 2 days for all the medical procedures. I was not mentally prepared. All I could request and plead was, I asked the doctor to give me a time of 6.5 months so that I finish up with my exam and get back for the treatment. To which the doctor politely replied, Apoorwa, I can wait for you, but cancer is not going to wait. This is the most shrewd part of cancer. It is ruthless. It does not give you time. You might have many important life commitments, but it doesn't care. Trust me, this was the most devastating moment of my life because I had to accept the most unfortunate fact that I would be losing my final UPSC attempt. I had lost my UPSC dream. It was shattered, and my career had come to an abrupt end. There was total darkness and everything was over for me. The pain of being diagnosed with cancer seemed smaller when compared to the heartbreak of losing my UPSC dream. I constantly kept questioning my mother. Why me? Why did this happen to me? Today I stand before you all, representing all the cancer warriors. Now let's talk about breaking boundaries as a cancer survivor. The first and foremost life lesson that I would like to talk about is, if you want to break life's boundaries, change your perspective. Tell me, if I would win a 1 crore lottery, would I ask anybody why me? There are so many good things that had happened in my life for which I never questioned why me. So logically, I shouldn't be questioning this time, right? During my treatment, I saw other patients who were in much greater pain. There was a lady who had 3 pipes inserted, one through the nose, one through the throat, and one through the stomach. I just had one inserted through the neck. I immediately thanked God for saving or reducing my pain. I used to hear most of the times that we have to be grateful to God. And I used to always think, why I have to be grateful to Him? What great has happened in my life that I have to be thankful or grateful to God? But with this changed perspective, I began to look at things in a different way. Tell me, all of us here have had our last meals and our stomachs are full, right? While there are so many out there who are starving. Every one of us is able to breathe properly, while there are so many who are struggling and are on a ventilator. Everybody's kidneys are functioning fine, while so many out there have to take the painful dialysis. So if you go to look at things this way, there is a long, exhaustive list which you get, for which you have to be thankful to God. So I just have one message. Focus on the good things you have, rather than focusing on what you don't have. The next important life lesson is, be positive. Everybody talks about positive attitude, but today I would like to present my theory of practical optimism. Everybody talks about positive attitude. You have been shown a glass which is half filled with water. And all those who say that it is half filled are termed positive, while all those who say that it is half empty are called negative. But let me tell you, the reality is that the glass is half empty, which is not going to change. According to me, the glass is half empty and I am not a negative person. Remember, in life, all the work which has to be done has to be not done on the part which is filled, but always it has to be done on the part which is empty. Okay, and life is also going to present you with the situations like the half empty glass. So instead of just saying that the glass is half filled and just being complacent, what you have to do, suppose you might be weak at various areas. First of all, accept the reality with all its shortcomings and then work on it in a positive way. I was being told that just don't think that anything is wrong with you. Think that you are fine. But tell me, were the medical reports lying? No, right? That was the harsh reality. I took a practical approach. I accepted that I was sick and then took a practical approach to work on it. So positive attitude first starts from accepting the reality with all its shortcomings and then working on it in a positive way. Do not try to be superficially positive. Do not try to deny the reality or escape the reality. Rather than accept it and face it with courage. Going ahead, I would like to tell you that in life only positive attitude isn't sufficient. What you require in life is the pushpa attitude. Now what is the pushpa attitude? What is the famous dialogue from the blockbuster movie Pushpa, which the hero keeps repeating again and again? मैं हर किस झुकेगा नहीं. So this is the attitude required. Never give up under any damn circumstances. This is what it translates in English. So rise up and hit back harder. The next important life lesson is get out of your comfort zone. Comfort zone is a very beautiful place, but it offers zero growth. You will not find trees or plants growing under a huge tree. Why? Because there is shade. If a plant or a tree has to grow, it has to be exposed to the sunlight, it has to bear the wind, it has to bear the storm, and only then it is going to grow, and only then it is going to grow stronger. If you want to grow in life, do all the things that make you uncomfortable. Waking up at 5 a.m. gives you that discomfort, do it. Exercising daily gives you discomfort, do it. Reading 10 pages a day makes you feel that discomfort, do it. Do all the things that give you discomfort because growth lies there. The next important life lesson is take risks and do not be afraid of failure. A ship in a harbor is safe, but that is not for which it is built. The very purpose of building a ship is to get into waters. So what is the whole point if it is kept very safe on the shore? We are afraid of taking risk because we are afraid of failure. But let me tell you a very interesting fact of failure. Failure never comes alone. It always comes with a nice gift for you. And you know what is there in that gift? When you open that gift, there is a lesson. So failure always accompanies a lesson. So take risk, try new things in life. Either you will succeed or you will learn your lesson. Now, the most important life lesson is do not take your health for granted. And as a cancer survivor, when it comes to health, I have not just broken boundaries, rather I have crushed them. After multiple surgeries, the 8 chemotherapies and 30 rounds of radiation, my health had hit its rock bottom. That is when my parents advised me to put everything aside and to focus on health. Initially, it was very difficult for me with the critically low levels of calcium in my body due to the treatment. But I still didn't give up. I used to hit the gym consistently and I worked out. And now I have regained my health, I have participated in various runs, and now I'm training for a marathon. I have a health advice to give. Stay away from alcohol and tobacco. I know most of them will not like me for saying this, but being a cancer survivor, I cannot lie when it comes to health. When I ask people if they consume alcohol, they have a very diplomatic answer to this. They say, yes, occasionally. And you know when are these occasions? Every Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday. So, taking into account the increasing lifestyle diseases, this occasional trend is dangerous. If you think doing a bottoms up is cool, and if you are unable to do a 20 push-ups, then it's time you have to rethink your definition of what really being cool is. The legendary investor, late Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, made a very meaningful statement few months prior to his death. What he said was, health was my worst investment. At the time of his death, his net worth was 46,000 crore. If he was given a chance to negotiate with God, he would have easily paid 1 crore a day and would have bought himself a few more years to live. But remember, you cannot negotiate when it comes to health. So, health is your vital asset. Don't take it for granted. My final message to all those who are going through a difficult or a rough phase in life. If I can do it, you can do it too. Be it any difficult phase, be it related to career, health, finance, anything. If I can do it, you can do it too. Falling leaves do not indicate that the tree is dying. Rather, the tree is making space for new growth. After I lost my final UPSC attempt, I used to cry looking at the books, at the notes, and recalling all the hard work that I had put in. That is when my father told me, Apoorwa, you have lost your attempt, but you can realize your dream through others. Thus, my incomplete career itself became a driving force to help others build theirs. And thus, I co-founded Infinite Minds, and today I am a successful co-founder. Today, if God is supposed to pick 100 most happiest people, I would be the first one to book my slot. Remember, when everything seems dark, always keep it in mind that there is light at the end of every dark tunnel. The only thing is you have to cross it. Pain was inevitable, but suffering was optional. Disease was inevitable, but depression was optional. I did not choose depression. I chose life. And today, I'm living my life to its fullest. Always remember, a strong comeback is always possible. The harder you hit, the higher you are going to bounce. Thank you.